Okay, so now let's talk configure static routing on R1 first. Okay, so you know that this is like I configure static routing with the next hop addresses, right, as shown in the previous lecture. And this I already explained this in class. The purpose and command syntax of the IP route command, but basically the purpose of static routing command, as you can see, there are a couple of scenario, right? The most important scenario is a stop network, right? And you know that this is a stop network because this is called stop network because let's say this is your network, right? Only way to get to the internet, the outside network, right? There's only one path. There's no other path, right? So you don't really need to use any complex dynamic routing protocol. The static routing protocol is enough because there's only one path. The same for the R2, right? Which is connected to the internet or outside network. When R2 receive a packet from remote, like internet, for example, outside network, if that final destination is, like for example, 172.16.3.0, which is the stub network, right? And for R2, there's only one path, right? I mean, there's no other path to get to this stub network, so it's obviously it makes sense to use the static routing. There's no reason to use any complex dynamic routing protocol, even on R2. Okay. Anyway, so now let's just configure R1. So for R1, let's just click R1 first. Let's see. Let's look at the R1. R1, okay. Oops, the password. Well, we put the password on the console port, right? For R1, I think the password was a hi. The password is hi. Yes, hi. HI. And then enable, right? And now let's type show IP route. I like to see the IP routing table. And as you can see, there's only two directly connected networks, C and C, right? So let's just draw this diagram in terms of R1, right? So for R1, oops, I'm going to use the red. The black. R1, right? R1 has two directly connected network. I'm going to use just black. So this is like a Ethernet, right? So there's one network, Ethernet port. And then there's a serial port. So this is R2. And then there's R3, right? And there's another directly connected network through the serial line, right? So there's another directly connected network. So basically there are two directly connected network, right? Which is 172.16.3/0, right? And this one is 172.16.2.0, right? /24. Okay. However, right, R1 is not aware of any other network. So that's why we need to use static routing to add this remote network, right, to the R1's routing table. So what are the three of them? The first is this one, the network that is connected through this Ethernet port, right, which is 172.16.1.0, right? And another one is through the serial port, right? There's another network which is not known to R1, right? And this network is what? 192.168.1.0/24. And finally, the local network, right? Through this LAN, and that IP address is 192.168.2.0/24. So basically, how many IP route command that we need to use? We need to use three. One for this, right? And another for this remote network. And then finally, the third one is this, right? So that's why we need to have a 3 IP route commands for each green network, right? So as you can see, right? So basically these are the command, IP route and etc. We need to have a 3 IP route command for each green network. Okay, so we're gonna configure IP route command. We're gonna execute the 3 IP route commands, right, for R1. So I have to in the configuration mode, global configuration mode, and then I just cut it paste. I don't want to make any mistake at this point. So copy and paste. By the way, for you, I want you to type this. It's just for practice. Okay. Then this is the second. Okay, but for you, I want you to type everything just to practice. Oops, I don't think I can really copy this. Maybe, yeah, I'll just IP route 192.168.1.0, right? And then subnet mask, and then exit it. Next hop IP address, which is 172.16. Right? 2 dot. Hold on. I think there is some problem there. I think this is not 100% correct, because to get to the 172.16.1.0, right? 1.0. Oh yeah, this is correct. Yeah, this is correct. I'm sorry. Yes, this is correct, because actually to get to this all 3 network, right? All 3 network, your next hop IP address should be this guy, right? Right. So to reach this final destination, you have to go through this exit interface. The IP address of this exit interface is 172.16.2.2, right? Yep. So that's why it's same for all 3 IP routes, right? R1. Okay. 2.2, right? Okay. And then IP route 192.168.2.0 and 255.255.255.0 and then 172.16.2.2. Good. And then I want you to type show IP route to see the routing table. Show IP route. Yep, you see that there are two, the static S, right? And then S and S, right? For the 3 routes. Since we have a 3 green remote network, and we type 3 IP routes, and as a result, we have R1, right? We have 3 S's, right? S for the static routes. Okay, so I'm done with configuring static routing on R1, right? And for R3, right? I'm not going to make any video lecture. For R3, please, I think you can do it without my help, right? And let's see. For R3, I think there is a R3, R1. I think there is, okay. By the way, actually, oops. Yeah, R3 here. For R3, this is a command, right? So I think you can finish R3 on your own. And don't forget to type show IP route to see the routing table. So for R3, right? After you type this, and make sure that you type show IP route to see the routing table, right, of R3, and then maybe you should compare the current routing table with the previous one. Okay, so even before you type this, I want you to type show IP route to see the current routing table, right? Then after you type this command, right? I want you to type show IP route to compare the current routing table with the previous one, okay? And obviously the same thing. The reason that you need to type 3 IP route is same thing, just for the just like R1, right? For R3, right? And this is, okay, so we have, oops. Now for R3, we have, this is R2. This is R1, R2, and R3, right? And for R3, you know that we have 2 directly connected network, right? And then there's another directly connected network for R3, right? However, it has 3 not the 3 network that is are not directly connected, right? 1, and then there's another one, 2, and then there is the last one, the 3, right? So from R1's perspective, right? So there's a I, right? So from R3's perspective, there are 3 networks that are not directly connected, and R3 has to learn, right? Those remote network, right? So 1, 2, and 3, right? And that's why you have 3 IP route commands. Okay, so I think you can do you can configure static routing on R3. Okay, so I'm not gonna make any additional video lectures for R3 because it's exactly like the idea and concept are like 99% same except these IP addresses. Okay, so I'm done with configuring static routing on all the routers R1, R2, and R3. Okay, thank you.